Hi everyone, Atuluku Sunday here once again, and a review from my previous video said I should show them how to do the list drop down. So that is why I will be doing a short video on data validation. Now what all those things stand for is data validation, and data validation is actually a process of ensuring that the data you entered is exactly what it is. That is, if you want a cell to have a particular value, you can use data validation to get it out, yes, so that the cell does not give you a wrong value. And it also helps in removing errors from your data. So as a data analyst or a database manager, you should always work with this so that your columns are well formatted, not to allow for inconsistency or wrong data. So without talking too much, let us go into what data validation is all about. And below here, on this page rather, I have a data set. So I'll scroll to the side so that we can do this from the scratch. Now if you go to your data tab, you go to data validation, is down here, is on this button down here. So you see data validation. So it says pick from a list of rules to limit the type of data that can be entered in a cell. Now this can allow you to enter numbers within a range, to enter text within a particular number, to enter date within a particular range. So let's go quickly with that. I click on this small drop down arrow beside it, and then I click on data validation. Now on the data validation, you will see three menus, three tabs: that's setting, input message, and error alert. This setting means what do you want to set it by, what definition do you want to give it, which formula, which limiting factor do you want to impute. Then if that is not the case, if there is a message that you want people to know, if you want people to know, okay, this column you are on right now is designed to specifically take this kind of format, you can impute that here. We'll be doing that shortly. You can impute that here. Then if not, if the person does not do that, you can put what we call an error alert, so that it will show the person that he has entered, he or she has entered an invalid command there. So let's go straight to what we have. If you look at allow validation criteria, you see allow any value, you can go and change that. So let's start with whole number. You click on whole number. Now it is showing between. You can change it not between, equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. So I'll be using greater than. So let's say this whole column that we want to select now should be greater than a value. So I select greater than. So you can see the minimum value. I'll enter the minimum value. Now let's say the minimum value is 120,000. Yes, that's the minimum value we want to have for that column that I just selected, which is K1. Now I click on OK. If I go here and I try to enter anything below 120, like 150, okay, that went. Now let me try 100. I think that's 100. You can see it brings out an error message for us. This value does not match the data validation restriction defined for this cell. Now retry. Let's still try it again. 110. You see it will still bring out the same error. Now if you don't want to see the error coming out this way, that is what the error message is for. So let's go back and go there. Now input message. I can now write that uh, mean, sorry about that, mean value, mean value. So here in the input message, the minimum and the minimum value should be 120,000. Okay, now let me put a comma there so that we can get it correctly. All right, 120,000. If this doesn't happen, the error message I want to give it is try again. Then I'll put here input a value greater than 100, 1 2 3 20. Now that is set, and I now let's go there. Now you can see if you click outside, it's not showing anywhere, but let me go to this cell here. You see that it is written the minimum value should be 120,000. Now let me enter a value less than 120,000. So let's try, let's even try 90,000. 1 2 3, and I press enter. Look at the error message it gave us. Remember, the last one it gave us was a lengthy one, but now you can see impute a value greater than 120,000. Now you'll be able to know, oh, I made a mistake here. Oh, this is not supposed to be here. And yes, that is how you format your column. Now this was to a cell. Now let me format a full column so that you can see. So I go here, I go and clean all the data validation. I clear everything. Now sorry, let me select just this comment. All right, so let me select just this. I think, okay. Oh, I need to clear that off. Clear all, impute message, clear the setting, cleared. Okay, so now we have a column. So let's name this column salary. That's the whole column. And I'll just take a little of it. So let me take from here to where we can actually see, so to 20. Yes, so this is a salary column that I just created, and I want to create a data validation on it so that the salary will be between a particular value. I go down here, then data validation, not any value. Now you change it to whole number, or salary should be in decimal. So yeah, it's in decimal number, because we have now between or below. So between or below, you can check this out. You can check this out. You see that not between, not equal to, and let me still use greater than. I want their minimum salary should be 120,000.00. Now this stands for Naira and Kobo, depending on what you are using. Pounds and dollars, you should have your own. Okay, so now the input message, minimum value or minimum salary, I will now impute here 120, 123.00. Okay, then the error alert, I'll give it stop. You can change this. Yes, warning information, you can change it. It doesn't have to be stop. Okay, let's change it to, okay, I think information will be better. Now mean salary, enter a value greater than 120, 123.00. Now you see that. Okay, and I press OK. Now this entire column has been formatted. You can see for each of these that I go to. So let me try and enter a value here. I enter 150, 123. Now even though it is like this and you press enter, it will go. You see that now. So then let me enter 120, 123, enter. You see, enter a value greater than 120. So it will not take 120. So anything below 120 is not going to take it. And look at the error message it brought out for you. So giving you correction, you can now click OK. Then you go back there and you put your value. Let's say 150, 130, 123. Yeah. Then down here, let's try 90,000. 90, 123. Now you can see it's still giving you that error message. So once that is done, you go back and you can now impute the right value you want to. So the entire column, you can see to where I highlighted to that time, yes, you can see to 20 here has been formatted. But once you go down, oh, okay, if you go down to 22 here, that's K22, you can see that it is not formatted any longer. Yes, that is how to do that with the between. That's a whole number. Now this can also be repeated. Let me go back, sorry. This can also be repeated with dates. Let's see the next one we have there. So on data validation, we have, let me clear all. Yeah. Now we have on decimal, whole number, list, dates, time, text length. Yes, this text length is actually good, in the sense that you can limit the number of text that can be used. Yes. So before that, let me go to, I've done whole number, I've done decimal, so let's do list. Now a list is going to give you something like a drop down. Yes, I used this was what I used, and people commented that I should make a video on this, so that is why I'm doing this. So a list is like a drop down that you can select from. So I'll be making a list shortly. So we click on list, we can input an error message or not. However, okay, you can input a message or whatever you want, but then they are asking us for the source. So where is this list? And as you can see, I have a table on my data there. So let's go and select our source. You scroll to the side. Now, let's say I want the list to be the servers. Yes. So I want the list to be the servers, so that once I check a server, I know, okay, this server is available, and you can format every other thing to follow. So I go and click on server, shift control down arrow key to highlight everything. And once that is done, you come back to your data by clicking on that small tab there. Yes, this icon, this is the icon. You click on it, it brings you down here. Now all this is already in place. You can input an error message, you can input whatever. Remember how you do that. So I'll just be going straight, and I click on OK. Now once you click OK, you can see, let me go back up. You can see that down here we already have our drop down here. So let me scroll to the side so that it comes to the center. Now here we now have all the servers from server. Oh, sorry, I would have left out that server as the header. So yeah, let me do that quickly. Sorry about that. So I go back again, click on data validation, and then we select list, and then source. Now I go to my source server, I click on this, shift control down arrow key, then I go back and I hit OK. Once that is done, let me go back up here. You can now see that the list has been affected down here. So you now have all the list. Yeah, you can select whichever one you want from the list. Now this is how you do the list. I actually did it with VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, and HLOOKUP the last time. So it helps you to easily get out the value you are looking for. So if I were to confirm, to condition a VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP, I'll just go down here and also write equal to VLOOKUP. Well, let me just use XLOOKUP since it's faster. XLOOKUP, lookup value will be this cell here, then comma, and then lookup lookup array will be that server column. Yes. Okay. Why is it going this way? Okay, server column, we do this. That's a lookup array. Then return array. Maybe what I want to return is how much they sold. Let me see that. Okay, total price. Yes. So return array will be the total price. You click on that and comma. Then value if not found, you can define that. I've already treated this in the previous video. So if you are not following up, kindly check the other video on lookup functions. Yes, so you'll get that. I'm just repeating this. So comma, then match mode, I want the exact match, then comma, and then search mode, search first to last. Now once that is done, you close your bracket and you hit enter. So you can see Kelvin, I'm having this. So for each of them, you can have a drop down for each of them, and you can see it is working together. I hope you can see that. Let me bring it to the center. So I hope you can see that it's now giving us each of them what they are all about, the prices at that particular point and instance. So yes, that is all what we have here on list. Now the next one I would be looking at is let's see what we have here. Okay, the text length. Yes, all these other ones, they are similar. Date and time, you can give a between time and all that. So text length, You want to leave it at between, so that this cell I am right now, you want the total number of values, alphabets that will be in that cell to be 20 or 30. You are going to write between 0 and then maximum value 30. Okay, that will be too much for me to type, so let me just make it 5. Then you can put an input message or an error alert, so whichever one you want to, you can do that, but I'll just go straight. You already know how to do that from this, so I'll just go straight. And now this cell has been formatted, so let me enter a name like let's say John should go. You see, that went. Now let's try a longer name like let me see. Okay, let me use my name. So Sunday, yes. So now once you enter, you see it brings out an error for you that this value does not match the data validation restriction defined for this cell. So this is how you use your validation tools. It helps you to keep errors away from your data by giving you all these prompts, and then you will know that, okay, this column has been formatted to take this kind of data. If you followed me up to this point, please like, share, and drop your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.